Hey lovelies, so I decided to come back on and do another YouTube video for you, a little bit more personal, a little bit more in tune with a topic instead of just the promotions that I'm offering. Although you can still, of course, check out the promotions that I have and that I am offering in the comments below. I will, of course, always link those, and they are always there. So, yeah, let's get started. So what brings me to this video today is something that I feel is super important. Again, I always say that, right? I always say what I'm bringing to the table is important because to me it is. And if it is to you, then I ask that you follow me on all of my social media platforms right here. Like this video, comment on this video, and let me know your thoughts because I'm always open and receptive to hearing other people's perspectives as well.
This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. You are entering Tara's terrestrial aura. Are you ready? I repeat, this is not a test. This is not a test.
There are so many aspects of ourselves that we deny because we're trying to fit into the molds of other people. And the one thing that I always preach the most is that we cannot be based on the perception of how others see us. Therefore, whenever we limit ourselves to the perspectives of others in order to stay in situations or relationships or connections or friendships or whatever it may be, based on the energy that we're giving to another person because of how we perceive them and how we see them, we're actually lacking the energy in ourselves to be able to see the truth of nature. People are what they show you. People are not what we perceive them to be. People are not always just here and out for the best for others. Some people are really genuinely here to hurt people. Some people are not good people. Some people will do the most to make you feel their wrath. And because of that, we have to be able to become aware of these energies and also take accountability for the energies that we're putting out that may come across as if we are doing that to others. Because a lot of times we won't even be aware of our darkness, of our shadows, of our energy that we're portrayed as. But instead, the energy that we're seen as is the energy that we're taking on without even setting the intention to do so. So that's something that I really want to touch on and something I really hold a value to in my life and that I am working on by releasing stagnant friendships, stagnant connections, stagnant things in my life that are holding me to the past or pieces of me that no longer serve my highest good. And I hope that whenever you look at yourself and your obstacles, your challenges, the people in your life, I hope that you will see the areas in which maybe you could use cleaning out as well to find the most inner peace of yourself and the happiness to master your peace, because that ultimately is the number one goal and objective in this life, in my opinion. Now, with that being said, how do we identify these connections? How do we identify these relations that we establish with other people that maybe aren't serving our highest good? Well, me being the person that I am, I decided to look up some things online because I'm very Aquarian, and I just wanted to kind of like ask myself, are any of these things that are considered to be really toxic traits, are they anything that I've encountered with other people? Are they anything that I should be aware of, that I should bring my awareness and my attention to better myself? Because if so, I definitely need to do that, right? Because that's a thing. So I was looking up this list. I'll link this website below that specifies this. It's called Awareness Act, right? And it's a website, and what this article is about being manipulated by other people. Because I've noticed that a lot of the connections that I'll build, even in friendships and things like that, I do feel like there's a lot of manipulation intact. But then we can't always base everything on everything outside of us. We have to also analyze ourselves. Why would we be attracting this energy? And that is the thing. We attract the energy that we are. So if we are attracting energy of people that are not good friends, that are not good for us, that are not good connections, that are not good for our morale, for our confidence, for our whatever it may be, then there is a reason of an inner rooted, deep deep concern that we must find within ourselves. And no two people will have the same issue. And if they do, I mean, they could, but at the same time, most likely they're going to have different cores to their roots, different cores to their beliefs, and more. So this article is 17 ways manipulative people will try to control you and why. And number one is they try to make everything about themselves. They do this because when they turn everything into something about themselves, you are more likely to help them succeed. When something isn't going right for them, you cannot help but wanting to fix things. This is how most people function. We want to help others. So that's a sign that people are literally people that come into your life that act like there's always something wrong. They always need something to make things better, and then they look to you for that solution. You should not be a solution for anyone outside of yourself. You are a solution for yourself. Anyone that puts expectations and limitations on you and how you should behave towards them, or how you should help them, or how you should be in their life a specific way, that's a toxic behavior, and that is also a form of manipulation. The second one on the list of 17 is they're always pointing out your weaknesses. People who constantly always point out your weaknesses and point out flaws about you, they're usually doing this to gain power over you. So whenever we can bring awareness to people who are doing these things, we can bring awareness to ourselves and see where we can change it and nip it at the bud. Someone that constantly wants to make you feel lower than them or feel like you are less than because they look at your weaknesses as if they're stronger than you, that is someone that is trying to control you, trying to manipulate you, trying to make you feel as if your value, your worth is inadequate to theirs. That's not friendship. That's not a healthy connection. That's not how relationships are truly established and built that are actually good for us. Number 3, they always play victim. This is one that I've noticed with a lot of people. Anyone who always wants to be a victim into something, they want to look like they're weak, they want to look like they are powerless, or that people are out to get them, or that they have repetitive cycles of the same type of friendships or connections or whatever it may be, scenarios. Those are usually people who are victimizing themselves. And it's really easy to spot a person that does this. But at the same time, a lot of times it'll come across as someone with a lot of confidence and someone who just thinks that they're entitled. So notice, if someone thinks that they're entitled, like they think that they're their best at something, or they think that they've like created something that really isn't considered to be theirs, something, if they look at people like they mock them or they copy them or they do things like that, a lot of times that's them being victimized by themselves because they're in their own hell and they're in their own prison. So be aware of those things. Those are major red flags. Number 4, they intellectually bully you. Someone who tries to use their intelligence to be superior over you, clear indication. Anyone who's doing these things, yeah, that's a red flag. They cut you off from your friends and family. Anyone who tries to take you away from people that you have connections with and emotional attachments to, they're trying to manipulate you. They're trying to control you. They turn your words to benefit them. Exactly. Anyone who is literally taking your words, twisting them around to make them have any other meaning than the meaning that you've expressed that they mean after you've actually given the expression of the meaning is definitely trying to manipulate you. And keep in mind, manipulation can be done in so many different ways. In this situation, this manipulation is not ideal. But whenever it comes to us manipulating ourselves to become our best forms, now that is the type of manipulation that I am here for. Because that is the type of manipulation that is manifestation through our higher selves, the energy of ourselves, being aware of ourselves, and realizing that we have the capability to manipulate the matter of ourselves. And we also have the capability to cut these ties with the people who are trying to manipulate us, because no one should be manipulating us except ourselves. We are the number one manipulators of ourselves because we are aware of ourselves, or at least we're working towards the goal of that. All right, so number 8, they're always denying things that they did or said. Someone who constantly says that they didn't say something, or they try to change it and make it sound like you did something to make their words sound better, yeah, that's a red flag. Big red flag. All right, so we're getting close to the end of this list. And like I said, the article that I'm reading this from is going to be linked below, so feel free to check it out if you want. Because I'm just kind of giving a synopsis of it. But if you want to get the full effect and actually read the article, there you go. It's there. Do it. But okay. Number 13, they bait you into things. They'll bait you into things, like they'll keep you hanging. They'll like do little things to make you think that something's for you, or troll, like little things, like just, I don't even know how to put this one in, so I'm going to read this. They bait you into doing things. You give an inch, they take a mile. These kind of people will never give the effort that you give them. It's like they'll try to manipulate you into doing things for them, but yet whenever it comes to you getting things for you back in return, you'll notice that these things never seem to happen. You'll go the distance for these people, do a bunch of things, and you'll really just think that you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart, but really, were you kind of like baited into doing it, or was it actually your idea? Take note of these things. If we take mental note of the things that we do for other people and the things that we involve ourselves in, if we bring awareness to it and we start to see a lot of these things aren't actually things that we wanted, and they were things that we were kind of led into by this other person or by these people or whoever it may be, these are red flags. That's a sign of manipulation. All right, so number 14, they exaggerate things to convince you to do what they want you to do. Anyone who makes something bigger than what it is just because they want your sympathy, they want your care, they want your concern, or they want your attention. Any of these things, even other options that could be out there. Take note to it, because people will do this often. They will exaggerate things, make something seem like it's more complicated, more difficult, more intense, just so they can pull your energy in them. These people, these manipulative people, literally harvest off of our energy. And it could be something we're doing. So I don't want you to think that me reading this list to you is saying that you're a victim of someone else doing it, because this could be stuff that you're doing. And if we can't take note of our own accountability of the things that we're doing, then what service are we doing to ourselves or anyone that we interact with in our lives? So take note of these things. And if you notice it's something that someone's doing to you, find a way that you can either mend this or cut this energy out of your life. And if it's something that you're seeing that you do to yourself or other people, find the root of it. Figure out why you're doing this and what's the cause and why is this your reaction? Because these are the things that will heal us. Okay, so number 15, they pretend they cannot do something so that you will do it for them. Obvious sign. Someone says they can't do something. Oh, I can do it. Done. That's manipulation. It's that simple. There's not much more to that. People will oftentimes pretend that they are weaker or that they can't do something because they want others to do it. Pay attention. Are you getting this done to you often? All right, so next to number 16, they give you basically no time to decide. Like, they expect you just to make a decision or answer something or do something for them in an immediate, sporadic way. Someone who doesn't even give you time to set with your own energy to understand and feel how you want to do something or if it's right for you, those people are trying to manipulate you. They're trying to control you, because what would someone do that wants you to do what they want? They would give you a limited time frame to make a decision, make it sound like it's something that has to be done right at that moment, pushing you to make an impulsive decision that could possibly potentially harm you in the future. Pay attention to these people. People who don't value your time and your respect and your honor and your thought processing don't value you. It's that simple. All right, and last but not least here on this list is they use your feelings for them against you. And this is a huge one, because it's a like an example that they give here. They will say things like, if you love me, you will, and so forth. This is their way of really locking you in place. They want to prove yourself they want you to prove yourself to them at all times possible. So people that do this, they will literally act as if you care about them, then you're going to want to do this. And if you care about them, then you're going to do this behavior, or you're going to act this way, or you're going to go out and do this for them, whatever it may be. If someone is using any form of love against you or your feelings towards them to hurt you, that's a sign of manipulation. So it's that plain and simple. So now my question for you guys, after listing all of these things that are on this article that I found really intriguing, I want to ask you, do you feel that you are being manipulated by anyone in your life? Or are you someone that you feel maybe has manipulated others in your life? Share in the comments what you think and let me know. And also, if we can just use this information as a tool to be able to identify our own energy, set with our own energy, work with our energy, and understand why we're feeling the way we are. If we are manipulating others, or if we have been manipulated, how do we fix these things? So the question is, how do we fix these things? Say you are in the situation, you've been manipulated, you've been got, you've been had, you've been used. What do? You identify these things and you realize that this is not good behavior for yourself or for others. Therefore, you cut these people and these energies out of your life, just as if you were doing the energy. If you can identify something in this list that you're doing to others, ask yourself yourself why, get to the basis of the roots of it, and then work with that energy and identify it when you're doing it, so that way you can stop in the action of it instead of regretting it later. Because we're human, guys. We are human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to have people come into our lives that aren't always the best for us, but that doesn't make us weak. That doesn't make us powerless. It makes us strong, because we're able to identify these energies, and by identifying these energies, we're able to cure and heal ourselves. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, let me know in the comments, and like this video, comment on this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, you can find me on all of my social media platforms right here. And lastly, I do want to ask that everyone who watches this video do go check out the article if you feel called to do that, but also question what manipulation means to you, because as I mentioned earlier in this video, manipulation can also be a form of manifestation. Whenever we can manipulate the energy of ourselves within ourselves, we're able to work our energy in different ways to be able to form different outcomes. But whenever we are trying to use the energy of manipulation on other people outside of us, that is where it becomes toxic. That is when it becomes a behavior of us trying to be in control of other people. The truth is, we can't be in control of anyone other than ourselves. So whenever we can master ourselves, whether it be through manifestation, manipulation, change of your initiation and your creations, things like this, no matter what it is, if it's serving you, it's serving your God, it's serving your highest good. So serve your highest good, serve your God, and be the best version of yourself that you can be. If you seek happiness until happiness is what you become. If you seek to be alone, seek being alone until isolation is an essence of the state of your being. Whatever it may be, do what's best for you. There's no one way, no one path that fits the role of every single person out there. But what we can do, what we can identify, is the path for us, and be our own light to that path. Even if that light is kind of like lit up by some other people's shines to be able to get us to see ourselves. It's not a bad thing for other people to activate energy inside of us to see ourselves. In fact, it's beautiful. And that's why we have human connection. And that's why we have people on this earth that we meet. And even if it's only for a moment in life, we encounter these people to teach us lessons. And if you notice that you're always repeating patterns, you always have the same situation, you always have the same outcome, then notice it's not the other people, it is you. No one is causing your problems except you. And I hate to say that, because even if you're being manipulated, you are allowing people to manipulate you. Therefore, that is your issue. It is not theirs, because those people could not even be coherent of the fact that they're manipulating you. But the fact that you allow other people to have that energy and that impact on you shows you where your weakness is. So where does your weakness lie? And how can you make it a truth to where it's no longer lying, but instead it is your truth, because you have become the clarity that you needed to resolve the issue that the lie was beneath. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching this video. As always, I hope that you find it beneficial. I hope that you find it helpful. Don't forget, check me out on all my social media platforms. Click on some links I have here if you want to check out my promotions, and stay tuned for my next video. It'll be coming out soon. I love you. Namaste. Have a wonderful day, guys. Mwah. I'll talk to you soon.